If we want to explore the Kriyas in a powerful way to know things, Kriya Yoga is a lot of work. Right from the basic Shambhavi Mudra practice, what we are looking at is
why the initiation processes are always energy-based.
sadhana for well-being, very easy. To make you feel well, it's very easy. Just this Shambhavi, simple.
Involved a certain taking away from the normal situations of life.
It takes heartbreaking sadhana. I don't find even 20 to 30 people who would be capable of serious sadhana.
It just asks a dedication towards a certain sadhana. You keep doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it.
Some people exhaust that over a lifetime. You have three dimensions of yourself right now. It can be further divided, but basically, you have a physical body, you have a psychological structure of thought and emotion, and you have an energy body. All these three dimensions are pervaded by certain karmic content. Depending upon this karmic content, your body behaves in one way, your mind behaves in another way, your energies behave another way. For the same situations, different people behave differently. All dimensions. Body behaves differently, mind behaves differently, energies behave differently. Now, in a way, what we are looking at, right from the basic Shambhavi Mudra practice, what we are looking at is to rearrange them in such a way. The first thing is always life energy. The most dominant force in your life is not your body. Because if body is the dominant force, it will do its own little compulsive things and that's all it can do. If mind is the most dominant thing, most of the time you don't know what the hell you're doing, all right? So you have to arrange yourself in such a way, your life or your life energy is the first thing in your life. This is the most dominant thing. Your body and your mind are minor things. If this one thing happens, then space doesn't matter. Wherever you sit, it's fine. Wherever you sit, it's a significant place because your life has become significant.
That is why the most significant aspect of yoga is always to perform energy action, which we are calling as Kriya. This is the reason why the initiation processes are always energy-based, because we want to imprint something else on it. If we imprint something upon it, it will start functioning that way. Kriya Yoga is a different, unique method in the sense, because it is not asking you to focus on God. It is not asking you to first of all believe anything. It is not asking you to purify yourself. It is not asking you to be loving. It's difficult, you know. It just asks a dedication towards a certain sadhana. You keep doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. There is no way, there is simply no way if a donkey practices it, it should transform itself. Because the work is on the core level of your basic energies which make you who you are right now. That which made mud into body, that energy, you're refining it. If that refinement happens, there is no way that anybody can remain untransformed.
You have talked about Kriya Yoga being a path for the tough people. Are there any women Kriya Yogis on the path?
Women?
Women Kriya Yogis on the path?
There have been, but very few, because Kriya Yoga demands a certain extreme sense of discipline and perseverance at certain stages of its sadhana. Generally, it's not that it's not possible, but generally, women did not choose Kriya Yoga because they don't like that kind of hardship. It is not necessary that Kriya Yoga should mean hardship, no. But biologically, a woman is slightly disadvantaged when it comes to Kriya Yoga. Not essentially so, but to a certain extent she is disadvantaged. But what I have seen and known is the general Kriya Yoga that was taught was mostly designed for a male, because most of the practitioners were male. So generally, only men walk the path of Kriya Yoga because it involved a certain discipline and it involved a certain taking away from the normal situations of life, which was not possible at all in this culture for a woman, because by the time she was 8 or 9, she was married. By the time she was 15, she had a child. So the question of she going into such atmospheres which Kriya Yoga demands was not available. So traditionally, it got established like Kriya Yoga means it's for men only. Not because yoga is of that nature, because social conditions were of that nature. So all the practices that were designed and structured by various masters were all male-oriented because their disciples were male. Accordingly, they structured the processes. This does not mean no woman has walked Kriya Yoga path. No, many have, but they were a very small minority. So not too many practices were designed for them. But the systems that we have structured here are suitable for women also. They're doing well with their practices.
This is a very painful and unfortunate reality today. What I find is, very few people are willing to give themselves to the needed discipline the way they should. Especially in this part of the world, it's very difficult to put people into any kind of, long enough discipline to explore the possibilities. Somehow that kind of attitude is in the world is, giving yourself totally to something has diminished so much, very few people can do that. Apart from that, if we want to explore the Kriyas in a powerful way to know things, it needs a certain psychological strength and also physiological strength. This is another thing that I am noticing. If I look at 1,000 bodies, if I look at 1,000 people as physical bodies, I don't find even 20 to 30 people who would be capable of serious sadhana. They would take a long time to prepare their systems. Just the ways of living has done that. This is what has… these people will reap the problems of this as time goes by. You will see this. The complexities of ailments and diseases will multiply 100-fold in the next 100 years, because the system is weakening like never before. The human system is weakening like never before. They may be growing muscles, that's not it. This basic system is not strengthened because there may be various things, I can't ascribe this to any particular reason, but it's distinctly different than what it was 100 years ago and what it is now. To find a body which is stable, to find people with absolutely stable mind and body, you have to search or you have to work a long time to prepare them. Even people who come with great determination, I find they crack up if you put them into real serious sadhana. Sadhana for well-being, very easy. To make you feel well, it's very easy. Just this Shambhavi, simple, you'll feel great. You go to Bhavaspandana, you will be floating around. That's enough to live a good life. But if you want to know the fundamentals of life, if you want to know the process of creation itself, then it takes a different kind of approach altogether. It takes heartbreaking sadhana.
So your practice is just that, cleaning up the place and removing the cobwebs every day, that's it. You are not doing anything to energize, it's not like Shakti Chalana Kriya, you're trying to build something, which is a long affair. That's why we shifted to Shambhavi, because I didn't see people have neither the perseverance, nor determination, nor commitment to really work to build themselves up to another level, because that's a lot of work. Kriya Yoga is a lot of work. This is why we came to Shambhavi Mahamudra. Mudra means it's already there. You just experience it, you live it, that's all. You don't have to do it. But just daily removing of cobwebs, cleaning up the floor, this is all your work, rest will happen.
The Kriya is trying to enhance your energies. Now the Kriya can function in different dimensions. When we teach it in the program, we will teach it in such a way, it is safe for a beginner. There is a safety issue, always. If you are going to make somebody climb up this tree, if it is a 5-year-old kid, you will make him go up that much. If it's a 10-year-old kid, that much, there's a safety issue. So, it is taught in a certain way. When you exhaust that dimension, which will take a certain period of time for people, depends. Some people exhaust that quickly, some people exhaust that over a lifetime. The possibility that it offers just in that dimension. And it is also an inbuilt mechanism that if you hit the full depth and dimension of the Kriya in a certain period of time and stay there steadily, it'll open up a new possibility by itself. It's designed like that. The software is designed like that. That step by step it'll hold you at a certain place for a certain time. When it feels your physiology and your psychology is stable enough, it'll move you to next level of intensity.
If you work with your body, the span of that work is only that much. If you work with your mind, then the span of that work is little more, it extends itself. But if you work with your life energies, that dimension is forever. Even if the planet goes away, that will not go away. As you have an internet, there is a yogic net. If you are willing, you will see Gautama, the Buddha is not 2,500 years ago, he's just today. He is alive today as he was 2,500 years ago. Only thing is now, he doesn't have the burden of physical body. The physical body is a restriction. Whatever comes through a physical body, you will have likes and dislikes with it, isn't it? So, once free from the physical process, it becomes even more empowered and effective.
So there are very few rare articles about Kriya Yoga from Sadhguru's books. Sadhguru says, almost everything that you have learned is on the level of your body, on the level of sensation, and on the level of your energy body. If I have to teach you something memory-wise, what I know will take 10 lifetimes for you to learn, because it has taken that long to acquire. But if it has to be transferred by energy, it can be transferred in a moment. This is what an initiation is. An initiation is not a bundle of instructions. Now transmitting and receiving is on many different levels. If we teach people certain kriyas, in the very process of teaching the kriyas, we also offer a certain amount of energy. That is why I am repeatedly saying, while we are teaching yoga kriyas, don't try to learn mentally. We will put it in you some other way. Just be patient and receive it. But people want to write it down. It is just that energy-wise, it can be put in differently. The whole dimension is different and it works in a different way. People think the only way to learn is to write down and memorize. This is done on the pranic level, but on the level of your etheric body also, there is memory. The subtler parts of your memory are always in the etheric body. It is very subtle energy. Further, Sadhguru says, Kriya Yoga is important only if you want to do things beyond realization. If your interest is only to somehow escape the prison and get away, you just want to enlightenment or mukti, then you don't really have to walk on the path of Kriya Yoga, because Kriyas are so elaborate and involve so much discipline and focus. If you just want to be liberated, then Kriyas can be used in a small way. It need not be too intense. Kriyas as a whole path is not necessary because it needs too much application. If you follow the path of Kriya Yoga very intensely, without guidance, it may take few lifetimes to mature. If there is someone alive who can do things with you, then it can happen in this life. With the path of Kriya, you are not just seeking realization, you also want to know the mechanics of life making. You want to know the engineering of how life is built. That is why it is a much longer process. Further, Sadhguru says, the kind of sadhana you are doing here would normally needs a lot of foundation work. Generally on the path of Kriya Yoga, before we initiate people into this type of sadhana, a sadhaka would have gone through an enormous amount of foundation work in terms of energy. This is to establish the body's Mooladhara in very substantial way, so that when he does the sadhana, which pulls his energy upward, the body does not lose his ability to hold on to the body is lost. In present circumstances, in today's world, people are unable to give themselves to that kind of sustained practice and the time it takes to make this happen. Very few people would be able to sustain a sadhana like that without the lower end of Sushumna Nadi being tied. The Mooladhara is properly tied up. If sadhana to elevate the energies is done very forcefully without fixing the Mooladhara, one might leave the body instantaneously. A person could easily slip out of the body. Even if he does not slip out of the body totally, it could cause withdrawal from certain areas of the energy system, which will leave a person incapacitated. So before we attempt such sadhana with sadhakas who don't have the necessary foundation work, a yogi always fixes the lower end of Sushumna Nadi, which is the Mooladhara. This can be done only in an atmosphere where very intense energy situations have been created. Many of you have seen and experienced in the last few weeks of being here how the energy can be turned up and down. It is clear that there is a very strong energy situation around you. So using the energy situation, I am tying up the lower end of the Mooladhara for everybody who is sitting in this hall. So when they do their sadhana, when they really get their energy moving, the foundation of the body, which is Mooladhara, remains intact.